السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I think you're on mute, أخي.
This is my first time using
Using Zoom. My goodness, we've been using it for too long.
No, I never use it. I use Teams. Sorry.
Oh, Teams. Yeah, Teams is nice.
Yeah. How are you, brother?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. I literally just got home, to be honest.
Me too. I was in London, just arrived.
Wow, okay. You had a good trip?
A very tiring one. Alhamdulillah.
That's what it's about. Pray Isha, eat some good food, and take a nice nap.
Well, the food is on its way to us.
the beautiful of delivery.
No, at all. So busy with this and non-beneficial PhD.
You just want the letters next to your name, huh?
That's all. I just want the title now. I'm no longer interested in the thing.
Please
tell me, Yasser.
Yes.
Please tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. How long should I be speaking? That's the most important thing. Please. I don't want to be speaking long.
You know, as long as we're done before Isha, we're all here to take in as much knowledge as we can, inshallah, about the importance of knowledge.
Brother, I'm giving no knowledge today. I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna ask somebody else to say something else, and that's it.
Okay, well, good bit of engagement. We love a good bit of engagement.
We're Islamically democratic, brother. So.
That's good, alhamdulillah, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
A good shura.
Yeah, exactly. I hope the light is not obstructing this beautiful face to appear on the screen.
No, mashallah, your nur is even brighter than the light.
Astaghfirullah, brother. Come on, stop it. I don't have... I can't find any soil, otherwise I would have thrown it on you.
But yeah, typically, I think last week, Ahmed had one of his ustads. I think he spoke for about 45 minutes to an hour. So
Allahu Akbar. No.
But it doesn't have to be that long. That's just how the conversation, I guess, developed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can't speak for that long. I never did. I'm not that fluent. I don't have that much knowledge, and I'm not ready to spoon feed anybody.
I think that's the first lesson we can all take. There's always more to learn.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Should we wait, or I don't know how to check if everybody's here?
Yeah, typically the ISOC time is a little longer than usual. It's
Arab time, you mean?
Arab time, yeah. اتقلوا مع الوقت.
ايوه.
Let's go جالس. Maybe till 6:10, 6:15, wait for some more people to join. Just
yeah, sure.
Some of the brothers to let them know. This is starting now. Let's see.
The brothers.
Yeah, I believe Nabil is in.
Nabil.
Yeah, some people are a bit shy.
They shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Will we, Yasser?
Yes.
Please tell me. I'll be addressing a single gender today.
It's a bit of a mix. So.
Okay, mashallah. So brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters, yeah. So.
Okay.
Inshallah, as many can benefit.
As long as you're the mahram, brother.
Don't worry. I'm first showdown. I've got you.
I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, some more people are joining. Okay, perfect. Admit. All right, some more people are joining. Assalamu alaikum, Kaim. Good to have you here.
Alaikum assalam.
And we'll give it another 5 more minutes, inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. Goodness, can't believe it's Tuesday already.
It is.
Yeah.
You
For
mean-
your PhD, do you have like school terms, or is it pretty much the entire year?
It's pretty much the entire 3 years.
The entire 3 years. No breaks, eh?
No, at all. We've got annual reviews, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Mm.
All right, then, alhamdulillah, looks like we've got a good number of people in thus far. Inshallah, more will be joining. Alhamdulillah, نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ويضلل الله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. Today we have our very own brother Salah here to give us a talk today. I guess without further ado, Salah, you can introduce yourself to the people, and we can inshallah get into the beneficial knowledge that you have to share with us. And from what I understand, it's going to be an interactive one, so feel free to stay alert, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Salahuddin. I'm an Algerian PhD student in Canterbury Christ Church University. I'm unofficially part of the ISOC group. Today, as Brother Yasser has just mentioned, we'll be speaking about knowledge and the power of knowledge as instructed in Islam and as perceived by scholars and as perceived by those who have experienced the benefits of knowledge and the necessity of knowledge in our lives. Please feel free to stop me whenever you want. I'd prefer a question and answer conversation. If I know, I'll share what I know with you. If you know something, please enlighten me. I prefer if we have discussions rather than me talking. Please, and I insist on this, if you think that I've done a mistake, please stop me and correct me. I don't want to spread anything that is wrong. Without further ado, I'd like to start with a small surah. It looks small, but the benefit is huge, is really, really huge. to an extent that Imam Shafi'i, the scholar Shafi'i, who has founded one of the four schools of religious thoughts, says if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not revealed anything except from this surah, it will be enough for us, for the mankind, to be guided with this surah. The surah is Surah Al-Asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a small interpretation, short interpretation of this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears in the time, and this is known in Islam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses some great notions of his creatures, and he swears by the benefits or the greatness of the things he created, such as wal fajr, the time, the dawn time, such as wal asr, such as wal dhariyat, such as some of the malaika, etc. So Allah in this occasion swears with wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr. Wal asr is the time after we pray asr. That's the asr time. Innal insana lafi khusr. Indeed, the human being, insan, is in a great loss. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. Illa is an exception, except those. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. Except those who have believed and did good, who act good. وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وتواصوا بالحق means they have recommended to each other and they've advised each other to be righteous. And وتواصوا بالصبر, and they have recommended as well patience, sabr. I'll just give a small interpretation of this, as the ulama, the scholars, I mean, explained it, and then I'll move forward. Well, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears in the beginning of this surah, says the human being is in loss except those who have believed. The scholars explain this and interpret this first part as those who believed means those who first admitted and they bear witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only worthy of worship and he's the only God. But the second part is that they are the ones who sought knowledge. They are the ones who pursued knowledge. And then إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. They did good. They acted upon that knowledge, and they acted upon the teachings of the faith they admitted to. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ is the spread. I mean, recommending being righteous for others is the spread of knowledge amongst the Muslims, the spread of the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This includes the da'wah, and most importantly, includes da'wah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst Muslims and non-Muslims as well, because that's the good deed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ means they have recommended sabr to each other. Most of the time in doing da'wah or in seeking knowledge or spreading knowledge, we find and we encounter difficulties. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ means they have recommended to each other and they have acted upon the knowledge they have learned and acquired, and they've been patient to that. They've been patient to all the obstacles they faced. This is the end of the interpretation of the scholars. Scholars, again, they have deduced from all of these recommendations that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided to us as guidance, they have deduced that knowledge is first and foremost the first weapon that not only us Muslims we should be seeking, that every single human being is required to seek knowledge. Now, speaking about knowledge, we can not of course it's not me, Scholars define knowledge as whatever can be learnt. Whatever can be learnt. Here, as a matter of fact, we differentiate two types of knowledge. People can or are likely to learn something that benefits them, and other people are likely to learn something that is non-beneficial. For the non-beneficial, I'll start with it because it's so short and so concise. Non-beneficial knowledge such as sihr, magic. Na'udhu billahi min as-sihr. May Allah protect us and our loved ones and families and all the Muslims from sihr. Sihr is knowledge, is a great deal of knowledge that is there in the world, but it's not nafi', it's not beneficial knowledge. It hurts. Somebody who learns how to, for example, hack into the financial systems of banks, for example, or organizations or charities, and he steals the money from them. This is knowledge that doesn't help. On the contrary, it brings more sins and more, and it throws us in hellfire. Na'udhu billahi minan nar. Now I'll move to al-ilm al-nafi', the beneficial knowledge. Al-ilm al-nafi' is whatever we can learn in this life so that we survive life and then we survive the hereafter, akhirah. I'll read the question. Yes. If you use the same knowledge for a better purpose, would it be considered beneficial? Stealing from the rich to give the poor. Well, should I say, sister? Importantly, I think it's all a matter of principle. Why are we learning this? To do what? To steal. So the principle that you're learning for is stealing. That's not permissible. For example, somebody who does riba, for example, mortgage, he says, or who gets interest on the money he puts in the bank. He says, for example, I'll put my money there, and then when they give me money, I'll do charity. I'll give it to other people. The problem is the original contract that you had with the bank is a contract that approves riba. You can't do it. So it's always about the nature of the thing you're going to do. I'm learning so that I'll be able to steal. It doesn't matter, stealing from the poor, stealing from the rich, stealing from somebody who deserves to be stolen from. It doesn't matter. It's stealing. I hope I have answered to the best of my knowledge. For the sake of knowing what haram is so that you can stay away from it may make it a source of beneficial knowledge. I totally agree. I totally agree. Learning about haram, that's the difference. Learning about haram helps us avoid haram, and that's amazing. That's amazing. That's what we should be doing. We should learn something that helps us, learn something beneficial, and learn about the haram and non-beneficial stuff. Learn about them, don't learn them. This is what I'm insisting on. Don't acquire the knowledge that does not benefit you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every morning he asked us to do this. He recommended this dua for us, and he did it every morning as part of the remembrance in the morning, adhkar sabah. I think in Urdu is called durud. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say this dua: Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa'. Allah protect me from knowledge that does not benefit me. وَقَلْبٍ لَا يَخْشَى, a heart that does not fear you, and does not, and a heart is how to say khushu', somebody who really contemplates upon the worships that he does, or when he reads Quran, etc. And another dua as well in the morning, we say, Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'an. Oh Allah, I'm asking you for a beneficial knowledge. It's as'aluka ilman nafi'an wa rizqan tayyiban, good rizq, a good money, or good, for example, somebody who's going to work, he says this dua in the morning: Allahumma inni as'aluka rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbala, and accepted action, accepted good deeds. I hope I have discussed this in detail. I don't know if we have other questions before we continue. I have no idea how to use this. I'm sorry. I hope it pops in. Anything else that pops in. Going back to differentiating between, to speaking about the beneficial knowledge. Without going in much details, I'd give, yeah, amazing. Yeah, thank you. I think, sister, I don't want to offend anybody. Thank you, sister. Yeah, the benefits of seeking knowledge, and then this will lead me to differentiate between two types of beneficial knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Those who are most those who mostly fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than any other person, they are the ones who have knowledge. They are the scholars. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, in Surah Az-Zumar, says, قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. Those who know and those who do not know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks this rhetorical question: do those who know and those who do not know, are they similar? No, of course they're not. They're not similar. إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. Those who remember and those who fears me are those who contemplate upon my ayahs. And then again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Mujadala says, يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises those who believe amongst you and those who learn and those who seek knowledge. And Allah is most knowledgeable and all-knowing of what we do. There are many other ayahs. I'll seize the opportunity to speak about or to mention hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a very famous hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't want to quote it in a wrong way. I'll just tell you the hadith in whole. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfirullah, sorry. Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu قال, this is a companion. He narrated from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam the hadith: من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Anybody who seeks, we're speaking about Muslims of course, anybody who seeks a path in which he aims at seeking knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pave a good pave, an easy pave for him to Jannah. وإن الملائكة لتضع أجنحتها لطالب العلم رضا بما يصنع. Even the angels lower their wings to the students of beneficial knowledge, as a sign of satisfaction to what he or she does. وإن العالم ليستغفر له من في السماوات ومن في الأرض. Those scholars and those who know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek knowledge, beneficial knowledge, they benefit from istighfar. Who does the istighfar to them? Everyone, whether consciously or unconsciously, even the animals, even the malaika, they do it. They do istighfar for those students of beneficial knowledge and in samawat, in the heavens, and in the earths. Even the whales in the sea. وفضل العالم على العابد كفضل القمر على سائر الكواكب. The manzila, the position in Jannah for those who have knowledge is more than for those who spent the whole of their lives worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like monks, and I don't know the exact name for the Muslim, from the Muslim perspective. etc., 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 to the rest of the hadith. It's a quite average long hadith. Um, Now, I think it's time for me to draw the distinction between uh, what what are the types of beneficial knowledge. Beneficial knowledge is split between two types. One is knowledge that is religious knowledge, and second is worldly life knowledge. We all the time. I mean, we're still speaking about beneficial knowledge. I'll start with um, religious knowledge, which is the most important thing, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. May Allah remind us of Shahada before we die and pave our way to Jannah, all of us. Ameen. Um, so I'll speak a little bit about the religious knowledge. Religious knowledge is whatever is has anything related to our religion, how to perform ghusl, how to perform wudu, how to pray, how to do dhikr, uh, knowing, for example, fiqh masail, knowing the most important thing in Islam, which is tawheed, monoism or something like that, which is knowing the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by worshiping him upon knowledge. I just want to draw your attention to an important chapter in Bukhari. I think we all know about Bukhari. It is considered as the first most correct and accurate book after Quran. Uh, in Sahih al-Bukhari, there is a chapter called Babun al-ilmu qabla al-amal, chapter in knowledge before action. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes us and he wants us and he guides us and recommends for us so that we learn before we worship him. That's why the scholars say if you do not know something that has to do with worship or relate or I mean
Whoops, I believe Brother Salah has frozen. Uh, can you hear us, Salah? One second as we try and figure out technical difficulties. Alrighty, in the time being, as we try and resolve this issue, inshallah, I think so far what has been said has honestly been extremely beneficial. And I was wondering if any of you guys had any questions or any thoughts as you've come through listening to this, any tidbits of information that you might think relates to this. As we all know, it is a Muslim's duty to share the beneficial knowledge with one another. Um, you can always type in the chat or put up your hand. Let's see. Oh, Sahih looks as though he's joining back. Assalamu alaikum, Salah. There we go. We can see you. All right. Might be on mute. We can see you. I don't think we can hear you though. You have to connect your audio. Often when you join in, it'll ask you if you want to connect with internet audio or call in. Maybe if you have earphones as well, those might be of assistance. Yeah, we still can't hear you. It might be best to try and leave and then rejoin. All right. I think, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Lovely, lovely. I'm sorry, my
No
phone
worries.
started by itself. I think it's fed up with my talk. Sorry.
Not to worry.
Carry on. The last point in the religious knowledge, which is part of the beneficial knowledge. Um, yeah, I was saying, I forgot. Okay, again, the how important is seeking. Yeah, that's where we stopped. How important is seeking the religious knowledge? Is called in Arabic al-ilm al-shar'i. The importance of seeking religious knowledge is that when we pass away, may Allah be satisfied with us and bestow His mercy on all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us. This is the most beneficial thing. And this is the difference between beneficial, between religious knowledge and dunya knowledge, this worldly life knowledge. For example, in physics, in medicine, in the difference between religious knowledge and knowledge about the sciences, the other sciences that are also beneficial, is that when we pass away, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us for the fact that we learned the religious knowledge. I hope I'm clear on this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us and will be pleased with us if we do it the right way, that we learned religious knowledge for the fact, for the sake of learning it only, so that Allah will be pleased with us. If we learned the religious knowledge so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us, Allah will be pleased with us and He will reward us. That's the difference. And here I'll use this to move to the beneficial knowledge that or sciences that has to do with our worldly life, that is not non-religious, I mean. Except from the religious knowledge, the non-religious knowledge, which is knowledge about this worldly life, sciences, medicine, physics, architecture, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not reward us for the knowledge itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards us for what we do with the knowledge. If we teach the knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the reward for teaching good knowledge. If we construct good houses and good buildings and we contribute to the ecosystem or whatever, we save a life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us for saving the life, for providing homes and houses that are well done and very well equipped and very modern and very comfortable to the community. Allah rewards us on that thing. But He does not reward us on the thing that we learned. He does not reward us on how to solve this equation. He does not reward us on how to count the exponential, for example. I think that's the how to say it. I'm sorry if I've messed it up. Um, Yeah, so moving to the beneficial knowledge that has to do with the worldly life. Um, yeah, indeed. The messenger popped in. I hope it didn't. I hope I got it all. Yeah, such a nice perspective, and I'll speak about this for quite a couple of minutes. Um Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards us on the knowledge, on what we do with the worldly life knowledge. If somebody learns how to save a life, how to save a life, and he saves lives, and he contribute to the wealth of the well-being of the humanity in general, not just the Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us on our actions. Now, seeking knowledge that is not religious, or even that is religious but that is beneficial, has to abide to two important aspects. I think everything should abide to these two aspects, not just the knowledge we learn. First thing is ikhlas. Ikhlas means doing the thing for the sake of Allah only, nothing, nothing else. I mean, not for the sake for you to get a good job, not to get a high rank or a better position, or to make good money, or to have a higher status or better social status, or to be considered as the doctor this or that. No, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not reward for it. Having ikhlas, which is doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is one of the most important principles that we should consider every day. Why? Because that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treats us. He treats us upon our intentions, and if the intentions are pure and they are directed towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and towards his satisfaction, then he will be pleased with us, and he will put barakah, and he will help us do do better and learn more. Yeah, indeed, actions are by intentions, and behaviors are for human people, for a human being to judge each other. It's just a notion, they say. Um, yeah, first one is ikhlas, and second one is doing the thing as we should do it. If we are constructing a house, we need to construct it the way it should be. There are requirements, we should abide to the requirements. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, "Inna Allah yuhibbu min ahadikum idha amila amalan an yutqinah." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves from every one of you, if you do any kind of job, whatever simple is the job, do it the right way. Allah will be pleased with you for just remembering this, having it in mind all the time, that I'm doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even you will be rewarded for this, even you'll be paid for this, even you will get a better status or higher rank or better position. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with you. Why? Because you have had this in mind before doing it. Oh Allah, I'm doing this for your satisfaction, nothing else. Whatever comes out of it of good is your extra reward, which is the dunya reward. uh, yeah, exactly. Now I'll speak about the situation that we have, and that we face. I face myself. I most of the time forget that I could. I'm studying. I'm going to uni. I'm spending hours and hours in front of that laptop doing that nonsense thesis. And I'm sorry to say this, um, but I forget that I can get rewarded for every single hour I spend, despite it is not for religious knowledge. I can get rewarded for that. Do you know how? Again, it's the principle I told you about, doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have in mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I'm doing this, Ya Allah, I'm doing this so that you are pleased with me. I'm doing this so that I don't do something else that hurts other people. I'm doing this rather than going and learning about magic, rather than going doing something that is not beneficial. For example, somebody who's studying, I don't know, I better not specify because Some of us might get offended, but the fact that you're not doing something bad or something that hurts others is in itself, if you think of it, if you have it in mind before doing your good thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for abandoning the bad behavior, abandoning the bad knowledge, having good intention towards the society and the community and the Muslim community specifically, and will reward you on seeking the beneficial knowledge. Except even if this knowledge is not religious, this is worldly life. Somebody who's studying hard, waking up very early or sleeping very late, studying all the time, burning the candle on both sides, trying to be a very good doctor for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be sure that the reward he gets is unbelievable. An architect, somebody who's doing finance, somebody who's doing law, somebody who's doing, having in mind that Allah, Ya Allah, I'm doing something that has to do with this worldly life. Let's not speak about medicine. Medicine is sometimes it's obvious because you're saving lives. Let's speak about, for example, finance or law. You're gonna say, for example, I'm specialized in property law, landlord and tenants law. How this is going to be beneficial knowledge for me in the hereafter, in akhirah? How is this going to be beneficial for me? Have the intention you don't know. To gain reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, we will be, sister. We will be rewarded. This is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be rewarded for the intentions, for the good deeds, for not committing the bad thing. Allah rewards us for all of these. It's just the intention that we should have in mind. Look, we're doing it anyways. If you have the intention that you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that you don't harm other people, so that you do good to the community, whatever good, sometimes you don't perceive the benefits of what we do. But having that in mind in itself is a deciding key for getting the reward or not. This is it, brothers and sisters. Having that in mind is deciding factor. Are we going to benefit from it or not? Are we getting the akhirah reward for it? Are we getting hasanat, to be specific, or not? Forget about sayyat and sins. If you're not hurting other people, you're seeking knowledge, you're not doing something else, you're not wasting your time. That's not a waste of time. Not having an intention, a good intent, not having the intention of doing something for the sake of Allah, learning something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is not a non-beneficial thing. You will not get a sin for that. This is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But why not benefit from it? Why not? This is the management. This is how we think to gain and to win. This is the best business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Trade with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have that good intention. Have that good thought. Do it for the sake of Allah. You're doing it anyway. You're doing it. You like it or not, because it's your degree at the end. So why not have the intention and be honest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah, I haven't thought about this before. Now, from now on, Ya Allah, you know my intentions. From now on, I want to do this for your sake. Oh Allah, reward me, help me, make it easy for me, make it beneficial for me. Please, Allah, if Allah does not reward us, brothers and sisters, please reflect on this. If Allah does not reward us on the good things we do, the good knowledge we seek, at least Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not punish us. Allah does not need our good deeds. No, at all. At all. He's Malikul Mulk. He has everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever we can't even think of. But why is He subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us all these options? Because He loves us subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create us so that we get punished. Allah in Surah Taha says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Taha, Ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa. We did not reveal this Quran on you so that you will be unhappy and so that you suffer in life. No. Those who seek the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything we do, in all the knowledge we seek, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us. And as a matter of fact, consequently, all what we do, all our paths will be easy. Will be easy. That's the promise of Allah, not us. It's not my creation. It's not somebody's attempt to interpret something. No. That's clearly mentioned in more than one occasion in the Quran. Um, I think I'm left out with two final points, very, very concise ones, and I'll finish. Please, brothers and sisters, think of this. The scholars say that a dog which has been trained, has been given knowledge, certain type of knowledge. It is called in linguistics, it's called the operant conditioning, founded by Skinner, theorized by Skinner. A dog that learns something most of the time, which is the obedience of its master. For example, the dogs we use when we go and hunt. The scholars say that the dogs which are trained, if they grab, for example, the bird that you've just hunted, if they grab it and they bring it to you, if the dog is trained, it's halal, even if it dies between the teeth of that dog. It's halal. You can eat it. On the contrary, a dog that has not been trained, if it grabs the bird that you've chased, for example, and please forgive my English, I know I'm corrupting the whole vocabulary. If it grabs it and if it kills it on its way to you, if it dies on its way to you, it's not halal, even though you've hunted it and you had the intention of halal food. You can't have it. Why? Because it's a dog that has not been trained. If this is the case with a dog, what about the human being? What about the difference between somebody who knows and somebody who does not know? Rasulullah in the rest of the previous hadith says, وَفَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ كَفَضْلِ الْقَمَرِ لَيْلَةَ الْبَدْرِ عَلَى سَائِرِ الْكَوَاكِبِ. The difference between somebody who knows and somebody who practices and who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time is like the difference between on a full moon, on how brighter is that if compared to the other planets, how we see it, how beautiful it is. The same is the same. It's sort of an analogy. So what about us? If that's the religious consideration of a dog that has been trained, what about us? We will be rewarded, brothers and sisters. We have to contemplate on this all the time. Just have good intentions. Just think about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for us and seek knowledge. You will never know when will you need this knowledge. You will never know. If as far as this knowledge is beneficial, seek it. And I insist on the religious knowledge, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Religious knowledge. Don't forget about it. Learning in Quran, memorizing Quran is religious knowledge. I'm in no position to give fatwa or to play the scholar or the saint part. No, I need these advice as much as you need them. But the thing is, we're doing it. We're seeking this worldly life knowledge. Let's have good intentions about it. Let's use it in good ways. Let's spread this good knowledge. The spread of knowledge is more important as important as seeking it, and as beneficial as seeking it. And on top of that, again, learning about religious knowledge, learning about how to perform wudu, learning about sujood al-sahw. If the imam, if you arrive late at Salatul Jama'ah, how would you compensate? If you make a mistake, how would you do? How would you repair it? How would you fix your salah? Would you do sujood before salam or after salam? If you drink water, or if you eat, if you get stuffed with food while you're fasting, and then you remember that you're fasting, what's the ruling upon that? What's the zakat amount that we should give? Am I giving zakat on the right time? Am I doing sadaqatul fitr on the right time? We all need to make sadaqatul fitr, whether we have money or not, after Ramadan. Are we doing it on the right time? No. Yes. Am I doing it the correct way? Should I do this? Should I do that? Uh, I think that's all, and I'm really, really, really sorry for taking this long. I'm really, really sorry, brothers and sisters. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك إن أحسنت فمن الله وإن أسأت فمن نفسي ومن الشيطان والحمد لله رب العالمين. I think it's time to have some discussions, some questions that we can discuss together, if any has got any.
Jazakallah first and foremost for giving us this discussion. It was a lot to ponder on, a lot of importance in terms of things to reflect upon, things to ponder about, putting things into perspective. And Alhamdulillah, it was a great means, I know personally, for thinking about, how to approach just, as soon as we leave this, how to improve what I'm doing, managing my time more efficiently. One question I had
Yeah.
was about things which are mashkuk, things that are doubtful, because as we know, Allah tells us, tafakkar, ponder on things, think about things, use your knowledge, and there are certain systems in place for
Mhm.
that. And being that it is the gray area, there is the possibility of falling into haram. So, what is the most effective and efficient way about going to seeking that type of knowledge or approaching those types of issues in general?
It's well, this then I have heard it from many scholars myself. I have read it somewhere in different from different sources. I mean, and it's not my interpretation or my understanding. Oh, sorry, my fan file. Sorry. So it's not my thing. It's a religious rule. It says al-aslu fil ibadati al-hurma wal-aslu fil adati al-jawaz. The same rule said differently. الأصل في العبادات التوقف والأصل في العادات الجواز أو الحل. This means that this thing that you're contemplating on, or you arrived at, or you're thinking of, or you just discovered, you have never heard of it. You're thinking, should I use misbah in doing dhikr or not? Now you have to think, is this a religious matter or is this dunya matter? If it is a religious matter, you stop. Because it's not your thing. It's not my thing to do it the way I want. No, 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 no. We worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way He wants. So I stop and I ask those who know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask those who know if you don't know. Don't just act from your mind. Especially, mainly in religious matters. But in dunya matters, should I use a fork or a spoon? Should I exercise twice a day or should I do this or that? In dunya matters, you have the right to perform it. If then you hear that even this is a dunya matter, but there is a religious ruling upon it that guides it, that instructs us on how to do it, then at that time you have no problem. Why? Because you did not have knowledge, and it's not a religious matter. So you do it, you keep doing it until you find an evidence that tells you don't do it or do it in a different way. Okay? So again, if it's a religious thing, don't do it until you know it. If it's dunya thing, adat, something customs, something that we perform in our daily lives, you can do it as long as you don't arrive at an evidence that tells you don't do it. Between thinking and overthinking, as they say, overthinking is from shaitan. How would you know? I'm just thinking, sister. Please give me some time. How would you know the difference between thinking and overthinking? As they say, overthinking is from shaitan. I think I have no solid knowledge about this, but I think that thinking is using, this is how they define thinking. Thinking is using your cognitive skills so that you arrive at an understanding. Now, in order not to fall into waswasa, which leads to OCD, the obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a major psychological issue that lots of students suffer from. In order not to fall in that trap, it is advised so that we seek knowledge. If you're thinking about something and you cannot arrive at a bottom line, stop. What do you do? Go ask. So thinking in itself about for example, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. Why? Somebody can think about this thoroughly, and we should think about this. But at the end of the day, we have a ruling upon this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us so that we worship him. So we try to reflect on our lives. Are we worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the right way? No, I'm not. But what should I do? What should I do? I should pray more. I should do more dhikr. I should listen more to Quran. I should listen more. I should seek religious knowledge. I should do this and that and that. This is different from keeping thinking and peddling in the same place. Because somebody who comes to you and tells you, I have a problem. I feel depressed. I can't help it. I feel this. I feel that. They are thinking about the problem itself. They're not thinking about solution to the problem. So a better thing is to, okay, now put your feelings aside, step back and try to find a solution to that problem. Same thing for our thinking about anything. I guess that's my understanding. If I have a problem with my studies, if I have problem with my ibadah, I'm not worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way I should be worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What should I do? I stop and I try to solve the issue. I try to find an alternative to my bad behavior, for example. Not I think the problem comes when we try to justify, when we try to find loopholes to escape our obligations. So better for us to go and seek knowledge at that time. I mean, going and asking somebody who knows. If you can't do this, ask your tutor. If you do not how to perform zakat, ask a scholar, etc. I hope I have shared my understanding with you. Jazakumullahu khairan. Sometimes I think it is also important to tolerate uncertainty and remember that Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, knows what we do not. Yeah, exactly, and absolutely. That's the thing. We think so that we arrive at a conclusion. Sometimes things are not, you can't find a conclusion. So yeah, this gets me to a problem that I fell in years and years ago. What if, how to say it? I'm sorry, I lost the words. I'm gonna go back to the messages. I might remember how to go to the messages. Participants. I don't know how to go to the messages. Or chat, yeah. Thread by Ustad Asim regarding spiritual OCD and overcoming the doubts brought by Shaitan. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll have a look on that. These days, I'm trying to help a brother avoid or step out of his OCD and waswasa. May Allah help us and may Allah help him and save him from this. I'll watch it. I might be able to help him more. I think it's also important to tolerate uncertainty and remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what we do not. Yeah, I remember now. The issue I fell in years and years ago is what's next? What's the origin of this? What's the source of this? What is this leading to? And I keep thinking and thinking and thinking until I reach some thoughts that are really, really, really dangerous. That they could lead someone to atheism. They could lead someone to disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's all from waswasa of shaitan. That's what we should avoid. That's why what we do not understand, that's the difference between us and the non-believers. What we do not understand, we seek to understand. We seek to find evidence, religious evidence, scientific evidence, whatever evidence that helps us. Religious evidence should be solid, should be backed up by more than one scholar, should be sahih, should be hasan, should be ayah, should be valid interpretation of Quran. A scientific evidence should be provided by those who specialize, etc. If we do not arrive at a justification, if we do not arrive at an understanding that satisfies our concerns, what we should do, brothers and sisters, be careful. We should stop. We should say Allahu A'lam, and we stop, but we still believe in it. So the fact that we don't understand it, it does not mean that it's not logical. It does not mean that it has no interpretation, so it's nonsense. No. The fact that we do not arrive at that understanding means that we don't have the mental capability to arrive at that. If you tell me how is this possible, I'll tell you in the 1560s or in the 17th century or whatever, did they have an MRI scan? No. Did they know what are the types of cancer? No, they did not. So what happened? Science has developed, and they arrived at these discoveries afterwards at the right time. The same thing goes for our contemplation and to our religious concerns and doubts we have. We should believe, we should leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should keep seeking knowledge in the recommended ways. We should not go exhaustive, otherwise we will not do it again. I hope I have shared what I know with you regarding this matter. Please tell me that's all.
Well, Jazakallah. If there's no more questions,
Please no more, please no more, please no
yeah, I
more.
know Aisha's gonna be coming soon, so we wouldn't want to prolong too much. I think this has definitely been more than beneficial. Lots of knowledge
Hopefully,
that was shared with us, inshallah.
Jazakumullahu khairan, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for asking the questions, and thank you for spending the time to listen to everybody. I just want to remind you, brothers and sisters, on something. Please, you might have recorded, you might have written something, you might have taken notes about anything that I've said. Please, if you find out that I've said something wrong, please correct me, so that I save myself from not spreading false information. I spread myself from acting upon something wrong, and we save everybody, and we apologize for spreading something that is wrong. Please do remind us. Jazakumullahu khair.
Ameen.
Yasser?
Yes. Well, with that, with that being said, shukran habibi. And inshallah, I hope all of you have benefited, and that you can take this recourse to think about, ponder, and learn more, inshallah, so that way we can all be on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, inshallah, bihawlillah. And with that, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Everybody, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.